The royal family has long been known for one guiding rule: keep calm, stay silent, and never fuel public controversy. For decades, that approach has defined how the monarchy survives storms that would destroy most institutions. But tonight, according to multiple reports circulating online, that silence may have cracked. In recent days, new images and stories connected to past events have spread rapidly across social media and independent news platforms. These reports suggest that long-standing concerns inside royal security circles may not be new at all. According to sources who claim familiarity with internal palace discussions, Princess Anne, often described as one of the most direct and disciplined members of the royal family, may have quietly confirmed something significant to a small inner circle. Not a speech, not a public statement, just a short acknowledgement. The claim is simple but heavy. Concerns were raised years ago, warnings were issued, and they were not taken seriously at the time. Whether these claims are accurate or exaggerated remains a matter of debate. What matters is that they have reopened old questions about trust, judgment, and the cost of ignoring uncomfortable advice. Tonight, we examine those questions calmly, carefully, and without sensationalism. This is not a verdict. This is an analysis. To understand why these stories have resurfaced, we need to return to 2016, the year everything changed. When a senior member of the royal family enters a serious relationship, a standard background review is conducted. This is not unusual. It is not personal. It exists to protect national security, reputational stability, and personal safety. In most cases, these reviews are routine: financial checks, past employment, legal history, nothing dramatic. But according to long-circulating reports from royal correspondents and security analysts, this particular review raised more questions than expected. Not accusations, questions. Princess Anne, who has spent decades working closely with military and security institutions, is said to have taken these questions seriously. Her reputation within royal circles has always been one of discipline, caution, and responsibility. What concerned her, according to commentary sources, was not personality or background, but patterns. Public records from the late 2000s and early 2010s show a familiar story: a working actress building a career through small roles, auditions, and short-term projects, a common story in entertainment. At the same time, photographs, travel records, and social connections from that era, now widely circulated online, suggest access to extremely exclusive environments. This contrast is what analysts often describe as a timeline mismatch. It does not automatically mean wrongdoing, but it does invite scrutiny. Security professionals are trained to look for unexplained access rather than unexplained wealth. Who invited whom? Who paid for what? How introductions were made? Princess Anne, according to commentary, viewed this not as a moral issue, but a risk assessment. Her reported concern was straightforward. When patterns do not align, they deserve careful examination before irreversible decisions are made. Here is where interpretation becomes critical. Reports suggest that Princess Anne attempted to frame her concerns not as judgment but caution, not as rejection but responsibility. The message, as it has been described, was not about love or personal choice, it was about consequences. But for someone deeply emotionally invested, such warnings can feel like attacks. According to public interviews and later memoirs, Prince Harry believed his relationship was being unfairly challenged. He interpreted caution as resistance, protection as prejudice. This is a very human reaction. When emotion and loyalty are involved, warnings often sound like betrayal. One of the recurring themes in public discussion has been finances, not in terms of wrongdoing, but feasibility. Luxury travel, private events, and elite social environments are expensive. Access to them is usually sponsored, invited, or facilitated. Security professionals do not assume illegal behavior. They ask practical questions. Who organized the invitation? Who paid for transportation? Who provided access? Princess Anne's reported concern, according to commentators, was that these questions had not been fully answered before marriage entered the discussion. That concern, whether justified or not, was never publicly debated because the family chose silence. Elite social circles function on introductions. That is not controversial. It is how power networks operate worldwide. According to widely discussed reporting, certain social organizations specialize in connecting entertainment, finance, and influence. Membership itself is not suspicious. What security analysts monitor is frequency, consistency, and pattern. Were introductions random or structured? Again, no accusation, only analysis. Princess Anne reportedly viewed these networks with the caution of someone trained to evaluate risk, not romance. Public symbols matter in royal life. Jewelry, gifts, and attire are never just personal. They communicate relationships. One widely discussed example involves valuable jewelry worn during official engagements. Palace advisors are known to assess symbolism carefully to avoid diplomatic misunderstandings. In public discourse, this moment has become symbolic, not because of legality, but because of perception. Princess Anne, according to commentary, understood this deeply. Symbols send messages whether intended or not. Years later, the emotional cost becomes clearer. Prince Harry built much of his public identity around protecting someone he believed was vulnerable. That narrative gave him purpose and direction. But if some of the warnings he rejected were rooted in genuine concern rather than hostility, the realization would be devastating. This is not about blame, it is about regret. Many people only understand certain warnings after consequences appear. The royal family's silence is often misunderstood as weakness. In reality, it is usually patience. Institutions with long memories rarely rush to respond. They wait for facts to surface on their own. Whether current online claims are accurate or overstated, the family's response remains unchanged. No public rebuttal, no counterattack. That silence suggests confidence, not fear. At its core, this story is not about yachts, photos, or rumors. It's about a breakdown in trust between generations. An aunt who believed she was protecting her nephew. A nephew who believed he was defending love. Both convinced they were doing the right thing. History often reveals that multiple truths can exist at once. This story offers a universal lesson. The people who warn us are not always our enemies. Sometimes they are the only ones willing to tell us what we don't want to hear. Wisdom often sounds cold. Comfort often sounds kind. Learning to tell the difference is one of life's hardest skills. So, the question remains, not as judgment, but reflection. Can broken trust be repaired once time has passed? Should warnings be reconsidered when new information emerges? And is silence sometimes the most powerful response of all? Thank you for watching. If you value calm analysis over noise, consider supporting the channel. We'll see you in the next discussion.